Look at this, right out on the patio. We got some rosemary, sage, and thyme. Welcome to Stavina Studios Homestead Maker. Today we are makering a raised garden bed. These are cool little self-watering raised beds, but they're designed to roll flat on the patio. So we wanted to make them more of a raised garden bed. To bring this off the ground, I thought I'd just take some simple cedar 1x6s and bring this off the ground. Make a simple stand, put casters on it. So this is raised up to table height. So all I had to do, these are the 20 by 24 inch city pickers. All I did was lay them out. Just wanted to see about what I was working with, 6 feet. And I know this is 20, but I wanted it to sit in the frame as far as it could. So let me show you what I did. This is a rough sawn cedar that Home Depot carries. The dimensions are going to be a little different. If you go and use a straight dimensional 2x6, that would be 5.5 by 1.5 inches. So this dimensional cedar is 1 5/8 by 5 5/8. So you're 1/8 of an inch wider and 1/8 of an inch thicker. So you have to think of that. You do use a dimensional lumber product. My dimensions are going to be 1/8 of an inch on each side off, so 1/4 inch total, and I'll show you what I mean. This is how I want it laid out. So I simply built the box with my obnoxiously thick and wide 2x6s. I just want you guys to know it's going to be different. This dimension will be the same, 70 inches long. So you need 2 at 70 inches. That's going to be the inside of your planter. And it's going to be 18 inches. And remember, our top of our box is 20. You can see then when it sits in, it's not tight against. There's just a little bit of play, but it sits down in as far as I can get it. That way only this much of the plastic sticking out. I wanted to bury it all the way, but it needs support underneath. Less expensive. I went in with some 1x8 treated pine, because treated is going to last forever. You're not going to see it. It's less expensive, so I went with that on the base. You won't even notice it's there, but I needed these underneath each bucket. So they're going to sit in like that. Anyway, that's how it's going to be. I just need to build legs and put the casters on. So I've done all the math for you if you use the exact same cedar. 70 inches, and then your end cap is going to be 21.25. So then what I did is tried to figure out where the center of each box is going to be, and I made a line, and that center is 11.3458. So I just made a mark, and see how I'm going on the inside of the box? I'm not measuring out here, so it's going to be 11.3458. I take my 1x8s and I cut them at 18 inches, and then I did 4 Craig holes, 3/4 inch Craig holes, and then I put my seam, matched the 2 boards right at my center mark. It's going to be right in the center of the city pickers, and just tight bond 3 and glued it to the sides. You just want it flush with the bottom. Just want this flush, so you can't even see it. It's going to be totally hidden. Let's put some legs on this guy. Have it any height that you want it, so it sticks above the frame 4 inches. I want this to be about 30 inches high, so I'm going to do like a 24-inch leg. Part of it is minimizing waste. So you have an 8-foot 2x6. I know I can get my 6-foot in my end on one piece. So there's 1 piece, 2 piece. I want to try to do it in 4 pieces because this stuff's pricey. So I was just going to think through how many of an 8-foot piece I need. 1, 2, 3 for each leg. So I didn't get lucky because these all need to be trimmed up. But these are going to be my legs. Going 24 inches, yo. Easy peasy. These are the simplest legs you're ever going to make. All right, we need 4 24-inch strips. This one, and that factory edge is wanky too. You know, yeah, this stuff is so expensive. Yeah, I got to square up this edge. Because this one is the shorty, I'm going to trim all the other ones to that length. Okay, then I'm going to flip over my box. Need some 2 7/8 headlock. Fasten master. These are great. They're going to, with a little tight bond 3, and these can be solid. I wanted them for a decorative look and structure. I need 3 screws. And I just need tight bond 3. I'm just taking my square like that, and I'll check it because it'll move on me, I'm sure. Put one in and then check. Square. Add the other 2. I don't know, I like seeing hardware sometimes. We'll just keep going. Making the bottom, the base. So as I was thinking through design, there is quite a bit of weight. So initially I was going to put a board like right here inside, but then all the weight is on those screws. So I'm going to set it right on here at 24 3/4. We just need one more exactly the same. Using some 3-inch deck screws. Put the leg on, T25. Just a little bit of glue. And then it worked out pretty good. I'm going to clamp it and pull it in a little bit once I get where I want it. There's a little variation in the wood down here. So like if one's poking out this way, just a tiny bit, by the time it gets up here, you're 1/4 inch off. So I'm just clamping. So if the legs went out like this, I'm bringing them back to this dimension. And put 2 in each of the legs. And then we have to add our 4-inch casters. Did 24 3/4. That's what that measurement worked out to be, but just measure yours, make sure it's the right size. So here's what I was saying. If you have 1.5 inches here and 1.5 inches here, this piece would have to be 1/4 inch less because I'm 1/4 inch thicker on both sides. So this is the only piece really that's going to be affected. This one, any of the end caps, and this one. I love impact drivers. It's like shooting a machine gun. You're like, oh, I'm just do, and then there you have it. I'm probably going to stain it, go get some casters and soil, and I'll show you how I put it all together. Got it all stained up, ready to put the casters on. I got these 4-inch locking casters, just using 1.25 inch screw. Put these on. Want them close to the edge, but not too close because you want to be able to put the brake on. Just eyeballing it. No one is going to know. Pretty good lock. Those will work. You want to get a caster that's going to be able to hold the weight of 3 boxes that are 1.5 cubic of dirt. 175 pound rated caster, I would say. Bigger the better. They can get pricey though. Next thing I do is clear out the boxes, get them ready for dirt. City Pickers comes with an annoying city sticker on the side. So always take that guy off. There's a little zip tie on each side. And these are your drain holes actually that these go through. Self-watering. We don't use the casters. We do use a little weed mat cover. And this is the water tube. Right, like that. Take the zip tie out of this little hole right here, and this is how it works. This grate sits in the bottom. Fill it full of a good raised garden bed soil and pack these corners. And then the water sits down here and it wicks up. And here's how you water it. So put the hose in there, water it, and that's where these holes come in, is when this is filled to this level, water starts to run out. So easy way to know you are full. Pretty handy. All right, ready for some dirt. So this is the cover that comes with it. It's just weed mat, but it's got a tie around it. So it fits over top, and you got a string you can pull. And then you cut a hole for your drain. Just think of what side your hose is going to come on. So pretty handy. They come with this. To fill it, again, a good quality raised garden bed soil. Put the grate in, and then make sure you fill in the corners good. And it's good to start the corners with a little bit of moist soil because that helps the wicking process. So not soaked, but moist. So that's what I did. And like I said, I mounded it up. And then you want to trench a dolomite down the middle. You can see I mixed in some fertilizer down the middle. And that is exactly how they tell you to do it. There you have it. We did 2 different styles. One's walls. We designed it this way so this one you can see through, because this is a morning coffee spot. Yeah, so again, put your hose in here, and then when it starts dripping, you know it's full. It all started with the City Pickers.